Hello and welcome to the Mood Diary. So I've been going through a bit of a tough period lately, and I know a lot of us have. The world's gone a little bit crazy. Well, it's probably already been crazy for a long time, and it just seems to be progressively getting worse. This doesn't really help for someone like me who has had to fight with mental illness for a long time, and I suffer with a reoccurring form of depression. It was called dysthymia, but it's now classed as persistent depressive disorder, that alongside anxiety and all the other things that come with it. I think there's a moment in my life right now that is niggling away at me, and I just thought, why not start something where I can actually speak about how I feel, and there might be people out there who can relate to me, and who knows, maybe we can help each other, maybe we won't. But I'll tell you a little bit about my background that led me to this point where I am now. So, battling with depression, but had been married for 16 years, got a son and a stepdaughter that I'd raised since she was 3 years old. She's now in her early 20s, just graduated from university, and my son is at college. So, in terms of being a father, I always thought I was quite a good father and quite a good husband. It turns out lately that that's not necessarily the case, because my wife decided to separate from me. It just kind of came out of nowhere after I'd lost my job due to COVID-19. So COVID pretty much put an end to my career, and then my wife said she was going to separate from me. I didn't really understand why, because okay, so yeah, I may have been a little bit distant from her recently because of my low mood due to losing my job, and I just kind of isolated myself a little bit. I guess really the depression didn't help. There was things she wanted doing, DIY jobs, gardening, that sort of thing. All the things that I find really difficult because of my depression. Just trying to battle through the thought of getting these jobs done every day actually gave me not only a high level of anxiety, but actually made me feel pretty miserable about my own life. I kind of feel like that I'm constantly having to do things to keep other people happy and to, I guess, be normal. And these things just feel really alien to me, and I struggle to do them. A lot of people will say that that's the depression, but when will it ever end? I don't necessarily feel happy with anything that I do. I kind of feel like I've not really got a place in the world, and I feel a little bit lost. My wife always said that she would be there for me, although she didn't understand my depression, and she doesn't get it because she comes from a family that have never had to deal with that sort of thing. They've always been pretty strong characters, quite happy with their lives and quite happy with just leading maybe what I would class as a mundane existence. You know, the what someone would call the 9 to 5 of life. I personally have always had a feeling that there has to be more to life than just going to work every day, coming home, having your dinner and going to sleep. I just feel there has to be something more to it. Maybe that's part of the problem for me. Maybe I'm trying to reach too far. Maybe I'm trying to overreach. Maybe I should just be happy with the simple things in life, but they don't make me happy. So maybe my wife and my family kind of felt that unhappiness in me, which then rubbed off on them and made them unhappy, and that's why they've moved on. Now I'm left feeling lonely and invisible, because I'm sat here at home all on my own with not really anything to do. And as much as I may have distanced myself from my family, I still knew that they were there in the house. I knew my wife would be upstairs in bed watching TV. My kids would be in their bedrooms on their devices doing their own thing. So even though I was downstairs on my computer, I'd know they're there, and I could go up and have a cuddle and a kiss and kind of have a quick chat with them whenever I needed to. Now I don't have that. That's gone. That's been taken away from me. And I kind of said to my wife, I thought when we got married we had vows in place that said, for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health, until death do we part. So for me, I would always be willing to work through things that maybe I felt weren't working in the marriage. the fact that my wife has now decided she doesn't want to work on those things, I feel a little bit betrayed. And not just betrayed, but I kind of feel a little bit like those vows that she said 16 years ago when we got married didn't really mean anything to her. Was there really any meaning in that? Now I understand that people change and that if she's not happy, she's got to move on. But it just kind of puts me in a position now where I'm invisible. Now it comes down to, how do you socialise nowadays? We socialise really online at the moment. And I just find that despite having quite a few followers on social media, whenever I post anything, no one ever acknowledges it. If I ever message people and ask them questions about something they may have posted, they don't reply to me. I thought, you know what, let's try maybe online dating and see if I can find some friendship through that. Joined a couple of online dating sites, same thing. No one replies to any of your messages. That starts then making me feel like, am I like a total like undateable guy or something? And you start questioning yourself again about, you know, what's wrong with me? Why don't people want me? I've lost my job. My wife's left me. Now people don't even want to reply to me online. Like, what am I doing wrong? I'm actually a decent guy. I've got strong morals, strong beliefs. I just don't get it. It just drags you down to the point where you just start thinking, what's the point in any of it? Like, I don't know. I mean, maybe people expect too much. Do they? Do people expect too much? Is that the issue? Is that what it's about? People expect too much. And if you can't reach that level of expectation, then you're no good to them. So then you have to start asking yourself, maybe I'm better off without those sorts of people in my life. But at the same time, you start thinking, you know, is it me? And I guess some of it is. The reason why my wife decided to move on was because she was unhappy. And I have to admit that I wasn't giving her what she needed as a wife and as her husband. But that's because I've been dealing with illness. And at the same time, I have to also be a little bit less harsh on myself to kind of say that I've been ill. I've been dealing with it well. Even though I was taking medication for quite a long time, I'm not on that medication anymore. I'm coping without it. I was going back to work after having time out sick before obviously I lost my job. But I kind of felt like I was trying really hard. And I was trying really to fit in. But then, again, it comes around to the whole understanding of mental illness and what people expect from you. And I watched the film Joker last night, the Joaquin Phoenix one. I don't know if any of you have seen that. And there was this one little page where he'd written something in his book. Now, I can't remember it exactly word for word. But it was something along the lines of, what's the saddest thing about having depression? Not depression, sorry. What's the saddest thing about having a mental illness? Everyone expects you to behave like you don't have a mental illness. And that's kind of how I feel. Like, people will say, oh yeah, he's had depression, he's not been well. But then they expect you to act like you don't have it. You know, just get on with life, you know. Then you start getting that toxic masculinity from some people. Just man up. Why don't you just drink a can of man the fuck up? It's not as simple as that. I wish I was in a mindset where I don't, or have never had to experience the cloud and the weight you get from depression. It's horrible. It's disgusting. But then I'm trying to reach out to people and I'm trying to communicate with people the best way I can. And then to get totally ignored and totally blanked and, you know, no one replies to you, just makes you feel invisible. You start then questioning, do I really even exist? Like, what's the point? I'm just what? I'm just doing what? I'm just waking up. Just waking up so I can go and eat. So I can do what? Sit here and ramble on in a video diary. Like, okay, so I joined the gym. So that's one positive step. And try and get my ass to the gym and try and do a workout. And I'm trying to work out why, because I want to lose a little bit of weight and I want to look attractive. Again, something that's being forced to a certain extent by the fact that I am now separated and that maybe I would like to have a partner. Maybe I would like to have someone who maybe understands me and actually understands what I might need, rather than me constantly trying to make other people happy. Maybe it can be a little bit of give and take. Let me just state one thing. No one is perfect. No one is perfect. Give me a fucking chance, guys. Give me a chance to show you who I really am. Because there is more to me than just mental illness. And the things I've gone through in life actually made me a pretty leveled out person. I've got a lot of wisdom and I care for people and I try and do the best I can by people. All I need is a little bit of that back. We've covered quite a lot in that short clip. It may be a little bit of a ramble or a bit of a rant, just getting it off my chest. And that's the thing about the mood diary. It's just talking about how I'm feeling right now, skipping through my thoughts and just letting them out. If any of you guys can relate to anything I've said, then please do comment. And if it's something you don't want to put in a public comment, just message me and we can discuss stuff. Obviously, if any of you guys are kind of feeling really low while you've come across this video, I'm going to put a few links in the video to some groups that might be able to help you, and do reach out to those if you are feeling extremely low. But this is a new channel, so if you want to follow the mood diary a little bit more and you want to get a little bit more information about the things I'm going to be uploading and discussing, then do like, comment and subscribe. It really does mean a lot, and hopefully we can all get through these tough times together. So thanks for listening, and I'll catch you later.